Good morning, everyone. Myself, Suresh Shanbag, and today, with the group members of group number 19, we'll be presenting you the presentation on the topic humanity. First, objective of the project. The objective is to expand our knowledge of human cultures and help us understand what binds us together and what differentiates us from one another. The project also makes us to understand how negative human behavior affects our natural environment, to understand how some people are cruel to others. Next, the methodology of the project. We have collected data by using primary and secondary data. Basically, we have collected primary data by surveying Google Forms, and which we got 59 responses, and secondary data we have collected from various websites. Moving on to the meaning of humanity and role of religion in humanity. Humanity means caring for and helping others whenever and wherever possible. Helping others at times when they need that help the most is the other name for humanity. Every act of kindness changes the world because we are all linked. What happens to the individual reverberates through all of the humanity. We are interdependent on one another and function best when we act with compassion toward one another. For example, during pandemic, people helped each other by offering food, clothing, shelter. India is known for its diversity in culture, language, and religion. All kinds of religion reside in India. Every religion helps humanity through its own way. For example, temples like ISKCON, Tirupati, and many other temples and religious places offer food for whole here. But in many cases, religion has affected humanity. People fight with each other in the name of religion. Many people are killed due to this. Moving on to the graph. This graph shows the rough amount of people died due to religious conflicts. First, the Kashmir crisis in 1990, second, the Gujarat crisis in 1969, and the last, Punjab crisis in 1984. People have been ruthless when it comes to religion. My request to all our Indians to consider humanity as their own religion. Best religion to be preached is humanity. Thank you, everyone. Would like to pass on to Rajini.
Hello, good morning everyone. Myself Rajni. How do we show humanity? Humanity is an important part of life which tells that to help others, try to understand others and realize the people problems with our own eyes and try to help them. As human beings, we have a responsibility to care for humanity. Expressing concern for others bring inner strength and deep satisfaction. Concluding the fact of humanity, I would only say to any religion you belong, be a human first, be a human lover, strive for humanity, as every religion teach us humanity and share your life with others, as life is all about living for others and serving humanity. That is why no religion is higher than humanity. So start serving for humanity from today by doing a small act of kind what gives you inner happiness and satisfactions in lifetimes. There are great humanitarians who live among us and also in history. To name a few, we had Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Dalai Lama, and many more. Mother Teresa was a woman who devoted her entire life to serving the poor and needy from a nation. Mahatma Gandhi serves as a great example of devoting his life to flee his country and serve his fellow countrymen. Nelson Mandela was a great humanitarian who worked all his life for those in need. He never discriminated against any person on the basis of color, skin, sex, creed, or anything. Dalai Lama, known as an effective public speaker, his message is always one of peace and compassion for all over the world. The acts and ways of this great humanitarian serves as a great example for us now to do in better in our life. We must indulge in acts of giving back and coming to help those in need. All in all, humanity arises from selfless acts of compassion. Over to you, Seema.
We as a human have become dependent on luxuries such as cars, houses, and even our cell phones. But what about our environment? As we progress to 21st century, we have changed the world in the unprecedented ways. Here are some of the ways how humans have impacted the environment. First, loss of biodiversity. Humans require lots of space for the farmland and industries. An increased population results in more clear cutting, resulting in severely damaged ecosystem. Another issue is our dependency on coal, fossil fuel for energy. The larger the population, the more fossil fuels will be used. Second, global warming. Global warming is arguably the greatest cause that humans have impact the environment. Humans are consistently increasing CO2 level globally. Third, ocean acidification. As coral reefs are home to 25% of aquatic life, as many of which are responsible for the natural filtration of ocean and production of necessary nutrients that are vital for the life under sea. Things like plastic pollution and overfishing are wrecking our oceans. Such things needs to be stopped. Deforestation. With millions of different species that live in forests, deforestation is a major threat to their survival and being conservation issue. Such human activities needs to be stopped if we wish to survive. Ozone depletion. The ozone layer is renowned for its ability to absorb harmful UV rays that would otherwise be detrimental to health. The human impact is devastating. Plants that are extremely sensitive to UV light rays, wheat and barley, two indispensable crops to humans. Humans impact the environment in so many ways. We need to conserve our environment as Mother Nature is an unforgiving force, so it is probably best if we treat her well. Now, I would like to pass it on to Diksha.
Losing humanity is when we forget the purpose of taking birth as humans. Humanity is defined to serve the needy people and to participate in their day-to-day life. Being born as humans are the first and foremost responsibility to be proper humans and to fight against injustice against anyone. Humanity not only means to do bad work or harm anyone, it also has a relation with those who have forgotten their responsibility of being human. We respect those who have money and power, but not those who have done something for our country. In today's generation, money itself talks about person who respects and time. We should race against humanity and be true humanity. Next slide. Animals are just like human beings. They also deserve a peaceful life. We keep on harassing them, and these poor creatures can't express their feelings and grief. Many animals and birds in the name of pets are being sold every day. These animals are kept in the cage or kept in tied with the chain. The street dogs are often beaten up by the shopkeepers if they are found roaming around. Many cows are found roaming around the garbage heap finding food. We should stop this and show some humanity towards animals as well. Humans are considered the most intelligent species, but we sometimes become very cruel to creatures who don't express themselves, especially animals. In India, cruelty and inhumanity towards animals is being increasing in number. In the first case, 15-year-old elephant was killed in May 2020 after eating an pineapple, which was with crackers inside it. The second case shows an adult tigress that was injured by 9 persons in Uttar Pradesh and was brutally killed. Next slide. I would like to conclude myself by saying, let's be responsible and show some humanity towards animals. Thank you. Passing it over to Maria.
In today's world, many of us rely on social media platforms to connect with people and get the latest information. There are also negative effects of social media that promote inhumanity. One of them is showing violence on social media. Violent images make teenagers less sensitive to violence, which in turn promote aggressive behavior. Next slide. There are many factors that causes people to be violent and cruel. The biological factors refer to a wide range of neurological, physiological, or chemical influences on aggression and violence. Aggression and brain damage resulting from a variety of environmental factors are linked to each other. These include toxic materials found in the environment, traumatic head injury, dietary deficiencies, and birth trauma. Children who grow up in deprived environments where there is frustration and hopelessness are much at a greater risk for involvement in violence than other children. Childhood aggression can predict adult violence in some individuals. It has been discovered that approximately 10% of the highly aggressive children grow up to do 50 to 60% of the majority violent crimes. Next slide. Psychologists have found the presence of three symptoms in the most common and cruel people. Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism is the ability to subdue something with cruelty. Narcissism. Narcissism is about selfishness or self-centeredness. Psychopathy. A mixture of emotions and indifference and a tendency to work dangerously. If these three symptoms come together inside a person, they become arrogant and cruel. Not all people have these symptoms. Only 3 to 5% of the population have such symptoms. We are living in a world of ruthlessness. We know that there is no substitute for mercy in making this world a better place. So there is nothing greater than the service of humanity. Thank you. Now I'll pass it on to Subramani.
Good morning, everyone. I am Subramani, and today I'm going to explain you the branches of humanity. The study of humanity has helps a lot of people to approach situation intellectually as well as their academics. Humanity focus more on interpretation and ideas rather than concentrated facts such as maths and science. Next slide. The particular branches of humanity consists of learning the way people communicate in different speaking countries. It brings a sense of culture to individuals as they are likely to be taught the various histories and the origin of the language they learn. Language does not limit our ability to perceive the world, to think about the world, rather than they focus our attention and thought on specific aspects of the world. There are also many examples of how languages influence restrictions like with regards to gender and describing events. The art consists of theater, music, arts, and film. They are all a medium of self-expression, and their purpose in particular encourages. Art is important because it helps us to feel free. It allows us to see new perspectives on our world, our emotions, and our possible futures. Art guides us in powerful journey in ways that we are often safer than real life, but which can impact our real life positively nonetheless. Next slide. Literature refers to novels, stories, plays, and so on. Individuals attempt to decipher the meaning of text and look into symbolisms and themes. Literature courses delve into social aspects that may influence text. The human race is only able to read, write, and communicate by putting pen to paper through the medium of literature. We are able to express ourselves using powerful languages as well as explore our own histories and culture. Literature has a major role of impact on the development of society. It has changed the political systems and injustice. Literature gives us detailed preview of human experience. Last philosophy. This course study human behavior on the age-old questions such as the meaning of life and the existence of God. They analyze various culture and their religious beliefs as well as the moral codes. Tools of self-expression. It helps one to express what is distinctive about one view, extends one's ability to explain difficult material, and help one to eliminate from one's writing and speech. Thank you, and passing to Shreyas.
We have circulated Google form through which we have got response, out of which 31.4 are female and 68.8 are males. In second, 18.4% people are below the age of 18 years and rest are above 18. In the next question, the response was 92.2% were students and the rest were employees, business and services. In next question, the response was 82% people spend 50,000 to 1 lakh and 12% people spend more than that. We'll pass on to Seema.
First question we have asked was, are we losing humanity? 76.5% people believe that we are losing humanity and 23.5% responded we are not. Second question we have asked was, humanity means extending unconditional love to each and every living being on the earth. 56.9% people strongly agree with the statement. 29.4% people just agree with the statement. 9.8% people remains neutral.
Third question we have asked, did you help other people by saying their religion or skin color? 92.2% of the respondents respond no. 77.8% of the respondents respond yes. Fourth question we have asked, does saying thank you makes the helping person feel good? 49% of the respondents strongly agree with the statements. 29.4% of the respondents simply agree, and 21.6% of the respondents responds neutral.
Fifth question, it is more important for society to be value-oriented or rules-oriented. For these, 51% of responses came for both and 29.4% responses came for value-oriented. Sixth, are humanity and social science are the same. 60.8% responses came for it is closely linked to the social science and 39.2% came it is different.
Intelligence or wisdom, what is more important for better world? For which we got 99.8 response as intelligence and 86.3 as both. Have we become less happy in the age of technology? For which we got 80.4% said yes and 19.6% of respondents said no.
Will the world come to an end by human hands? 52.9% of the people agreed with the statement, 27.5% of the people disagreed with the statement. Does religion serve a purpose or play a role today in collective growth and development as a species? 37.3% were neutral about the statement, 21.6% agreed with the statement, and 15.7% disagreed with the statement. Now I'll pass it on to Rajini.
So, here are some of the well-known quotes on humanity given by great humanitarians. One of the quotes given by Nelson Mandela, "When a man has done what he considers to be his duty to his people and his country, he can rest in peace. I believe I made that effort, and that is therefore why I will sleep for the eternity." Here are the conclusion and suggestion given by each and every member of our group. As technology and capitalism are evolving at a faster rate in this era, we must all spread humanity wherever possible. When we start practicing humanity, we can tackle many big problems like global warming, pollution, extinction of animals, and many more.
Humanity does not just limit to humans but also caring for environment and every living being. We must all come together to show humanity and help out other humans, animals, and our environment to heal and prosper.
There is always going to be conflict and disparity among each other. However, we should find ways of dealing with conflict that doesn't involve violence, destructive killing, however, by showing humanity.
All religions teach us about humanity, love, and peace in this world. You don't need to be a rich person to showcase your humanity. Anyone can show their humanity by helping and sharing things with the poor. It can be anything like money, food, clothes, shelter, etc.
We all humans have always indulged in acts that defy humanity. But as a generation, we have to rise and strive to live in a world when everybody is living in a fairy life and we can attain it by acts of humanity.
It is essential to remember that the acts of humanity must not have any kind of personal gain behind them like fame, money or power. One of the most common way of understanding is that it is a value of kindness and compassion towards other beings. Thank you.
Recording.
20 minutes.